Welcome back to our message from our divine, compassionate guides. My name is Julianne Duffy, and my purpose is to live, speak, and seek the truth in all forms to help reconnect humanity to its highest form of authenticity. My purpose when I pull these messages is that they will help heal and serve you in the most appropriate way. Today, I am pulling from the Quantum Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. And I'm pulling for this week. It's the last week of May. So what guidance the divine guides have for us as we come into this last week. And as you can see, I did a 4-card pull. So we're going to look at what I'm seeing, what you're seeing, what we're not seeing, the possible outcome, and then what actions we are being guided to take. So let's go right into this. And as always, I do intend that this will assist you as we go into this final week of May 2024. So we'll start with our first one here. This is what we are seeing. Oh, there we go. That actually seems quite appropriate. We got the card decrease. Decrease. We're seeing decrease. And that we might be seeing all over the place, whether we're looking at the financial aspects. I know the stock markets had a drop finally, which seems quite odd that it was so high when people are really struggling. There's a lot of people that are getting laid off. There's a lot of things that when you're not listening to mainstream media and you're actually looking beyond the powers that are telling us things, there's a lot of decrease happening around us. So when this is upright, this is essentially telling us the crystal clear water drips through the woman's cupped hands, value slipping away. We're getting a decrease. Well, I know here in Canada, our dollar is dropping like it's hot. Like the value, we can definitely tell with the inflation. Inflation is really a sign that there's very little power with your dollar. Things are costing so much more for things that, prior to the 2020s were a certain price. Now, even on sale, are more expensive than the normal price was back in the 2019s, right? So, first part of this, upright card reveals a period of real or emotional restrictions. There may be a loss of money or a need for greater expenditures than previously expected. There could also be some personal reduction as well, such as a child going off to college, getting married, or moving away. So our families might be decreasing. There is a lot of people suddenly not amongst us anymore, and no one wants to talk about it. That we continuously see these articles of people that are fairly young that are now no longer with us. And it's like the big elephant in the room that we are seeing that en masse right now. If you ask the right questions, many of us know where the culprit lies of what is happening with people getting turbo cancers or just overnight literally disappearing and no longer with us. But we are not allowed to talk about that, especially not in Canada. It is also an extreme state. Decrease upright can be a severing in a relationship or a loss of a job. And it says, don't panic. The externals may be changing, but you still hold the power to your responses. So let yourself go inward and regroup. This is a time to let go, trust, and regain our strength. So as everything is dropping, we're having a lot of decreases in all these different worlds. Financial, people around us, maybe our jobs, because I've been hearing a lot of people being laid off. There's mass layoffs happening that the governments aren't talking about and the mainstream media is not covering. We have to trust that it is time to allow this decrease to go through. It's like a cycle, right? We have the top, the peak of the cycle, and we're at this bottom of the cycle where things are going to be forced to change. And I feel like that's what we're really seeing. All systems, including nature and economy, have a time of reduction, a necessary period to gather strength for a time of transformation and expansion to come. So not all is lost. So even if we're going through this decrease, there is that cycle. Like I said, we're at the bottom of the cycle. This is to make space to come into that new part where we can start to expand. This is true for us too. Move through this time with conscious awareness. Your inner and outer actions will create an energetic shift, one that will carry you through to a joyous expansion yet to come. So again, this is reminding us that there might seem, like, oh, there's not, we're losing, but this is part of the process. We have to let go. This decrease is a natural process so we can make space for the new to come in. And I believe personally that it's going to be new for us in a much more positive way than we've ever had. So this is what I'm seeing. This is probably what you are seeing as well. Like, we're in a process where a lot of things are changing and it might feel a little bit like a loss or a decrease. But as I said, don't worry too much about it. But let's go through this message and see what else the guides have to say. So this is what we're not seeing about this. So we are seeing some decreases. We're seeing some loss. But what we're not seeing is present power reversed. So these ones we do read upright, which is really quite nice. Present power reversed. This is strength in the here and now. When it's reversed, the man falls off his pedestal and loses control of the beastly concerns about the past and the future. Time plans and even daily life can seem out of control. This indicates a loss of balance and even feelings of powerlessness for you. That's what we're not seeing. We're not seeing that. A lot of people are probably feeling really powerless as we're going through this quite extreme decrease and change. Perhaps a difficult issue or person from the past has resurfaced, whether it's a minor annoyance or a major disruption. It's disturbing your momentum. There could be a future plan that is falling apart, or worries about the future that may be consuming you. So there might be a lot of people really worried, especially as our financial systems start to break down. They were built on imagination too. If you have done any research, followed any of it, you're going to realize fiat money is not true. It only has value because we believe it has value. So we're kind of going through this point where, as we are no longer trusting it and we're seeing that we have no value, especially when you have hyperinflation as insane as it is here in Canada. It's hyperinflation. They lie to us hardcore. It's quite ridiculous, because the only reason things are so expensive is not only all the taxes upon taxes upon taxes, it's also that our dollar has so little value that you have to use more of your fiat currency to purchase the same product, right? So whether it's a minor annoyance or a major disruption, it's disturbing your momentum. There could also be future plans that are falling apart. Urgency has gotten you turned upside down, and you are desperately trying to regain control. So I feel like there's a lot of people really struggling with what they're seeing going on, and we're not aware of this. We're not necessarily seeing all the people that are really struggling with this. You must reclaim your power now. So if you're feeling that way, it's time to step back into your power. Bring your mind back to the present, the purpose of now, which is the only moment we have, and where your true strength lies. Take any necessary action and remember the power of choosing trust, optimism, and appreciation. By bringing these energies to the here and now, you can finally heal the past, create happiness in the present, and forge an exciting new future you long for and deserve. So I feel like right off the bat, this is really telling us that we need to be in the here and now. So whatever's going to happen in the future, or whatever's happened in the past, those don't exist. We only have the present moment. And there's a lot of people, really, what we're not seeing is how many people are really out of balance with the present moment. They're really either stressed about what's been happening or what's going to happen. And we unfortunately can't necessarily control all those things. However, we can change the way we see them. And being present in this moment, this has actually come up multiple times recently for myself. I pulled that with one of the yoga sessions I had. I always pull cards with them. And it was today's message was here and now and being in the present moment. And that we do the most disservice not being here and now. So what we're not seeing is how many people are very much struggling to be in this present moment as we're seeing all this decrease happen. So this is now our possible outcome. So what is possible? What is going to be possible in the outcome as we go into this week? Family, friends, and guides. Spirit. Interesting. So this one is really about your spirit mentors, so our guides. So I feel like right off the bat, before I get too much into it, we're being supported. We're being supported. This is a massive change for humanity, and we are being supported by our guides and our spirits. A woman in spirit floats over a peaceful stream, her light reflecting in the water, reminding you of the ever-present power of spirit in your life. So the possible outcome is we've got to remember that we are connected to the divine, and the divine has got our back. Unending inspiration and support are available through the loving entities in the spirit realm. When this card is upright, it harkens the presence of the spirit family, spirit friend or family members, or possibly someone you knew on a professional level. Do not put limits on your knowledge of what these entities can bring. In the spirit world, they can access all the information of the Akashic records, from the eternal past to the infinite future. All the wisdom you would ever need can be accessed either through your higher self or through these spirits' loved ones that are all around us. This card is telling you there's something going on in your life that could use the advice of spirit. Perhaps a beloved family doctor from the other side is helping you heal. Perhaps a friend in the spirit can give guidance concerning a relationship issue at this time. Ask for the information you need and be open to receiving it in a myriad of unexpected ways. I keep getting this type of message. The guides are behind us and got our back. And if you are really struggling, because this is the possible outcome, is we are going to have to connect deep with our spirit guides, with the divine, with the collective consciousness, with our own internal knowing. That's also part of this. And that's a possible outcome, is that a lot of us are going to be maybe pushed to that side, pushed that we have to let go and trust that there is a higher power at play and is actually there supporting and assisting us through this change. And the actions we are being called to take. So what actions do the guides want us to take? Travel. Well, that's actually awesome. Doing some movement, changing your environment up, changes perspective right off the bat. And what this says with travel, it says moving, which is what I mentioned. A suitcase stands outside the beautiful door bordered by flowers, indicating there's some travel forecasted for you. This could portend anything from a short driving trip to an extended vacation. However it manifests, a positive experience is at hand. There's also a possibility of relocation for you at this time. You may be buying a new house in an area or moving to another city entirely. There could also be a move where your work is concerned, such as transferring of offices or a new job entirely. If this is near a transformation card, which we don't actually have here, then maybe more interchanges. This one's not so much about that. This is really saying that we maybe need a new perspective and a little bit of travel. This is a perfect time to make energetic intention to move into a more joyous and optimistic mindset. Let yourself travel through each day with happiness. Even if you can't get out of your town, you can always take a vacation from negativity. So really, we're being guided that we have to change our perspective. That's what this is. For us to go forward, we need to change our perspective, know we are being supported, that this time has to happen. It is part of the divine process. The astrologer I follow does not believe we really have our own will, that there's so much already set in the way we are supposed to live that we don't necessarily have free will, that there's a lot of this is destined. Where we have the will and where we have the power is how we deal with the situations that come up. So as we see this decrease in whatever changes we're witnessing around us, no matter where you're at, you're finding some kind of decrease, especially if you're in North America. And it's going to be difficult, like there's a lot of people really struggling with this change. We're going to really connect to spirit. Those that are getting that calling, the way through this is through spirit and trusting the divine. And again, the traveling away from our negative thoughts, changing our perspective, and taking ownership is going to be very important as we go through this week. So as always, my intention is this will help heal and serve you as we go into this week. Be aware that there is a lot that might be difficult, but you can do it, and you have the key to change your perspective and travel away from any negativity and make it more positive. Have a great day. Namaste.